Hello. Okay, coffee with Christie is a little late, but we could have some juice. All right. Happy new moon, Taurus moon, a dream come true, as many of you know, for me. And those of you who know about my past gardening and things, I'm sure you're just as excited for me too. But yeah, 3.5 years, man. These totes here, those 4 totes, are my seeds and herbs that I carried with me all this time. And we're putting them in the beds with the soil and dug out the stuff in the other beds. Look at you, you're fucking professional. Nice. Yeah, so transplanted the stuff we had elsewhere and consecrating it with our herbs. And I thought this was a good opportunity while it's fresh in my head what we're doing. 'Cause I don't know, some people like to learn my weird ways and why my gardens are so crazy amazing. So, it's because I'm weird. We know that. And I found out a long time ago that Mother Nature, I'm gonna light this thing, is smarter than man. I used to follow all the rules and plant in rows and be all clinical and, and whatever. I had a little bit of food. But it wasn't until I tapped into my raw, wild nature where everything just turned into magic. And really, I'm not the architect. I don't, people tell me I'm like, it's not me, dude. I'm just a vessel in tune with what's going on. So, since I'm doing videos again and people want to know what I do, I'll try to remember and tell you what we've been doing. So, well, we started off last night binding the beds. We used hay bale twine and just kind of took that as an opportunity to infuse it with our love and intention. And, these are our magic wands. I hope everybody always remembers that. And right here is the magic. So, everything I do when it comes to gardening is think, preach, live, just love every moment. And we've kind of turned it into fun. Obviously it was kind of hard filling all these beds and all that dirt and stuff and moving the hay bales, but we got creative. We used the plastic, the visqueen, plastic sheeting to pull the hay bales, and we put this shit up in, I don't know, less than an hour. It was like ridiculous. And then we've spent maybe 2 hours in the dirt. We have a funny little ramp there, and we filled it up with a bunch of wood and everything that we could find around the property and all the compost that we had saved. And yeah, it's not composted yet, but it will, so whatever. Lasagna gardening, look it up. So I like to, getting back to the traditional methods or whatever. Yeah, nature, look around. Does nature plant anything in rows? No. And it was funny for me being like a Virgo and perfectionist and have to do everything the right way and all these perfect, neat, straight lines. And, like a volunteer would come up, like a lettuce would come up in the pumpkin patch or, whatever. A tomato would come up in the strawberries. And I'm like, oh my God. And I would dig them out and put them back where they're supposed to go, according to me. Because, yeah, I'm fucking God. Not. Okay. So then I started, paying attention and like the tomato plant, everything that was growing out of the compost bin and the volunteers were way healthier than the shit I did following all the rules and doing the rows. And so I'm like, damn. So I like to use a combination of multiple methods that we know today as like square foot gardening. Thank you, Mel Bartholomew. He was on my show and he passed, I think, last year or something. He was awesome, invented square foot gardening. But I don't really, he's rows and squares and stuff. And, a couple squares are good, but I like the masculine and the feminine energy. So I like to combine the yin and yang. I forgot, where was I? Do you remember?
Talking about rows.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So I figured out all the volunteers were healthier. And then I kind of got into seed scattering and putting and with companion planting. So what I do, I'll take seeds of the same, let's say, Three Sisters garden, corn, squash, and beans, which that'll be the bed over there eventually. It's not time to plant corn right now, but I'll have the corn, the squash, and the bean seeds in my mouth at the same time. As like we did earlier. This is her first time gardening, by the way, so she's like, what the fuck? It was like blood and urine and hair and spit and what are we doing? The poop, and not our poop, but you know what I'm saying. But what did we do?
Put them in our mouth and switched them up and spit them out.
So we put a bunch of seeds of the same companion to put in the bed, and yeah, just kind of. You could spit if you want, but I blew, she spit. Don't swallow. Oh God. And yeah, so then we just, so we spit them out or whatever. They go wherever, and then we use our magic wands for our loving intention to scatter them around and let them go where they may be. And a bird might eat a couple, or they might, eat one and poop one out somewhere else, and you might get a chamomile over there, whatever. Good. God, Creator, Mother Nature, whatever it is that's smarter than us, they know where shit needs to grow for whatever reason. Okay, so, so I guess the rules of my garden is, of course, always loving intention. In fact, if I'm having a bad day, if I'm depressed or sad or angry or whatever, I don't come here because this is magic. It's to me one of the highest forms of alchemy to take a tiny speck of dust and a few months later turn it into a nourishing meal for your loved ones or for strangers. Who gives a crap? It's about sharing. And one thing about gardening is, everyone's always like, well, how are you going to protect from this, that? And I've never really had that much of a problem. I had to kill one dude, Woody, the woodchuck, but we had to talk and he wanted to die. He could have left. But the deer, everyone else, we usually have an agreement. And I intend for that to continue. I do obviously like to use all organic and things for, neem oil or diatomaceous earth, or maybe even, cinnamon or alfalfa, mustard even. Like say you have, oh God, I think there's no squash bugs here, but those mothers, yeah, neem oil or cayenne or, make little powders and put them in, and that's always worked fine for me. I like to plant flowers to repel the deer or whoever, like zinnias or, marigolds, and so they're planted all around the beds. In some of the beds we'll have like onion and garlic as borders, and as you know, if you've seen my gardens, they're, wild, but they're beautiful, and even like 90-year-old, like full-on farmers are like, how do you do that? Teach me your ways. I'm like, you high? No? We'll smoke this. Okay, I think I will. Okay, so this is my partner here. Did we do or talk about anything else today that I can't remember right now? That I should, or do you have any questions that other people might want to know that I could share while we have this?
I don't know.
So, while we're here, okay, cheap materials and stuff for gardening. So, as many of you know, all of the materials we've used so far, except for the dirt, came from my tent. And if you were following that series, you know the reason I chose those materials and what I had planned to do this spring. And, well, here we are. I'm not exactly where I thought I would be at the time, but there's these things called moving trucks. Thank God. And so PVC, if you remember my old gardens and the trellises that were made that would have like shelf layering and then also going up, and so I would have like 4 levels of pumpkins, So yeah, we have a bunch of PVC that we intend to use for our trellises, and now living out here with all these sticks and twigs and branches, dude. I mean, maybe PVC won't even touch the garden, really. I actually wanted to use it for the archway for my teepee. That will be somewhere over here soon.
Nice.
I know, I can't wait, dude. It'll be big enough for you. It's 18.
Good.
So, yeah, because, dude, summer out here is the best. But, yeah, so I figured and here it's a new moon and a new cycle. I also like to plant with moon cycles. Look at all this time. Time. Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Okay, so, yeah. Those of you who've been following, skull cap. You know I've had these totes. See, I wasn't supposed to be homeless for 3.5 years. I guess you know that. I was just moving and then whatever, and then moving again. And so I've spent like tens of thousands of dollars, literally, moving these totes and these herbs because these are my craft and they're from my gardens and they're important to me. And I thought I would just get right back up and go to work. And so I'm not positive about the viability and the potency of these herbs as medicine. So I thought it would be a wonderful thing to give back to the earth. And that's one thing I firmly believe in, whether you're wild foraging or deer hunting or picking a dandelion even, is to give thanks and leave something behind, whatever it is. We are going to build more beds. This is just the materials we have on hand from my tent. But we're going to get these filled and we're going to keep building. We have some wood and some more concrete and yeah. Get some tobacco growing again. And we'll even see, actually, we don't even know for a fact if my seeds that I've been carrying from my gardens are even gonna come up. But we will find out. And I'm excited. And like every new garden, it's always that. It's like when you're pregnant, you know, and you're going to be pregnant forever, right? Or is the baby ever going to come? Or every time I plant something, it's, you just wonder if the little baby's going to come. And, you know, what if it never works or nothing works? But yeah, I'm super excited. How do you feel?
I'm super excited.
Yay. We'll use a bunch of herbs and everything we're doing to make medicine. And like one of the neighbors asked today, well, why are you growing such a big garden? Just what I do.
Why not? We have so much space here.
Hell yeah, I've grown bigger than this with less space
Yeah.
alone. You know,
Yeah.
so why not? Exactly, because it's fun. I feel so good. I'm in my element. I got my dirt therapy.
Yep.
We are a mess. I got injured a few times, but I healed almost instantly.
True.
Yeah, because it's even been proven in like Science magazine and stuff that gardening is actually good for your health. Stress levels, your heart, I mean, just all over, the bacteria and minerals you're getting into your skin, you're absorbing, you're barefoot, you're grounding and deflecting that negative energy, absorbing the good, clean, pure energy. It was so cool when we were doing this. Again, it's a new moon. I'm like, crap, how are we going to get water down here? We did, you know, that's next. But then it started raining, but the sunshine was out. I think I forgot I took a video, but I don't know, it probably isn't going to be part of this unless I just take a clip out. But then by this beautiful tree where we must put a tree swing, like a tire swing, the rainbow was right there, like
It was
just
right there.
right above our garden. And then on this side was the light rays, the sun rays coming in, you know, shining down again on the
Right
garden.
on the dirt.
So, and there's our lavender. We're going to transplant in here, so...
Yay.
Yeah. Anyways, I hope okay, so getting back to the natural, raw, wild, you know, yeah, I do use urine, and I mean, well, I didn't like pee in here or anything yet, but, and it doesn't really work like that, but also like menstrual blood and things like that. I mean, it also acts as look, you go to the store and buy coyote urine to keep shit away, right? And then you go buy your fertilizer. What are the 3 ingredients? Urea, that's other people's urine, nitrogen, and I can't remember what else. Whatever, who cares right now? So use your own. And your sacred blood, again, that's your sacrifice every month, that's shedding away. Give it back to the earth. What are you going to do with it? Stick it in somebody's fucking water supply? Like, duh. Okay, hair, things like that. If you have long hair and you have things like slugs or pill bugs or something, you know, like I save my hair in a drawer or bag and, you know, pull it out of the brush or whatever. And when you have problems like that, you know, yeah, you can use copper and you can use all these things, but you can also use your hair. Okay? So,
Perfect.
oh yeah, and the saliva, why I do that with the seeds is because it's, you know, collective program. Our DNA is programming it to give us what we need, essentially. And again, it's just another way to be part of the earth, because we are Mother Nature, and share our energy and come together. So I'm probably even weirder than I described, but I did 1,000 gardening shows, so fuck it, go find them. But if you do have any questions or whatever, I can answer it over like Coffee with Christie or something, and feel free to comment and send, and I guess I'll upload this one. So thanks. Bye.
Yay.